Okay. This year I learned a lot about goal setting. I learned not to involve your travel plans with your language plans too much, because we've all seen how that can crumble and then make you feel lost in regard to your language plans. I learned that you don't have to be a balanced language learner and try to learn one from every single family. I learned that you need to be flexible but also specific with your goals. So no more, I want to be B2, because that literally does not cut it for me at all. For next year, I'm only trying and studying languages that I'm personally attracted to and languages that call my name to them. So yeah, let's talk about languages for 2021. Oh my god, we're already cutting into this decade. Exciting, I know. Oh, dude, green bananas are the answer. I don't know how y'all still be eating these yellow ass bananas. I don't like them. People ask me, Elysse, why do you love green bananas so much? It's because they don't have these disgusting looking cores. When I eat a yellow banana and all I taste is sweet, I feel like I'm eating dessert. Do I want to eat dessert in the morning? Not really. Green bananas, they possess a kind of piney nuttiness. I've said this before on my Instagram stories, but no one, or you know what, no. I formed a reasonably sized green banana community just through publishing my story. So if that doesn't inspire you, I don't know what will. Green bananas, baby, that's it. Simple. Okay, so starting out, something that I'm really excited for next year is I'm going to study languages that I already know, and there's 2 of them that are happening that way. So the first one, I think I mentioned this in a previous video when I talked about why I switched from European Spanish to Mexican Spanish, and a large reason is that Mexican Spanish is so interesting because of the richness it possesses with regard to its indigenous words. It possesses a large quantity of words that come from Nahuatl, and I would like to learn some Nahuatl. Something to take into account is that there's probably a lot more resources for Nahuatl in Spanish than there are in English. It's a very interesting language to me, and its phonetics have always kind of attracted me, and I already kind of have that proximity from knowing a lot of Nahuatl origin words from Mexican Spanish. So, it's calling my name, and it has been for like a while. So I don't really have a goal for Nahuatl. I just want to try it out and be able to probably, have a small conversation about my life. The thing is, I know very little about the actual features of the language, so I'm not going to say that I want to be able to do any one thing, because I don't know what I'll be able to do. It could be something like completely different that I've never seen before. The point is, I just want to try it out and have a small conversation maybe by the end of the year. And the next language that I'm learning through another language is, can I get a drum roll? Turkish, yeah, you heard right. So I think this is maybe one of the ones that I'm most excited for, because I'm studying it through German. And this year has been, I think for me, this was like the year of German. I think German for me was king this year. I made probably the most progress in German, because I came a long way from when I revived my German last year. I revived my German around October of last year, and since then I've gotten to a comfortable, almost B2 level, I would like to say, and I think that I'm definitely able to, talk about grammar and learn things through German. And if not, there might be a small buffer period where I'm getting used to like certain vocab or something, but I would really, really love to study Turkish through German, because Germany and Turkey, they have such like an interesting relationship. For those who don't know, there's a lot of Turkish immigrants that have come to Germany. I think it started in about the 60s. I don't remember the whole history right now, but basically when I was in Germany last year, I was I was surrounded by it. Like in Cologne, there was I think it was like the biggest mosque in all of Germany, or at least in Cologne, if I'm not mistaken. And when I was walking through the streets, I would hear probably more Turkish than German sometimes, depending on, I think I was in a more Turkish neighborhood. So that was kind of when I really got exposed to it. It would also strengthen my relationship with German, so why not try it out? So in terms of materials, I've been looking around. Someone told me that Pons was really good, so Turkish für Anfänger. I was definitely interested in that, because I'm not such a book person, but it's been a long time since I started learning a language from the beginning. And I do need a book in that case, because also, I still use a book for German, even at a B2 level. So when the grammar is wildly different, and I know that the grammar is wildly different in Turkish because it's an agglutinative language, I think I'm going to start with the book first. I'm very excited. So let's be real. We all remember Dutch last year, right? I said, hey guys, I'm learning Dutch, and I made a big stink about it. And then after a month, I was like, I don't like this. And so with Turkish, realistically, I am still not very familiar with it, so I'm not going to say any type of level. I think for Turkish, it's the same as Nahuatl. I just want to have maybe a small conversation about my life, and I want to maybe explain my interests, my background, shit like that. Is that maybe a little bit too audacious for a person that's never studied a Eurasian language nor an agglutinative language and has never studied anything like this in general? Maybe. Speaking of Eurasia, I would like to learn Georgian next year. I think I've been talking about this since maybe like summer of this year. So like maybe like half a year I've been thinking about this. I am in love with the Georgian writing system. I don't know, it looks like a bunch of like amazing little pretzels and paperclip. It's very beautiful. I'm gonna put a picture so you can see what the Georgian alphabet looks like. You know, Georgian has a phonetic writing system, so it wouldn't be such a big smack in the face like Chinese was with pictographs and stuff like that. I don't know, I want to take a lot of time, you know, solidifying knowledge of the writing system and also the new sounds, because I know that Georgian has some sounds that, you know, don't exist in like a lot of languages, especially English. So I maybe want to find like a good book. Yes, another book, I know, that kind of solidifies that for me. Well, I don't know, with books, I'm not saying so much a book for the phonetics, but for the writing system, yes, I'm definitely down. I long for the days when I was in first grade and we were learning to write on those big like writing pads. Oh my, does anybody remember those? I don't know, for some reason I'm really excited about the writing system. I think I'm just like so hyped, and I don't even get that hype about scripts that much, but for some reason Georgian just makes the heart pound, you know? So, you know, if I'm going through this with Georgian and I figure out that maybe it's not right for me linguistically, I still really am interested in the writing system, and I just want to have fun with it and learn some new sounds. So yeah, with Georgian, basically, I just want to spend a lot of time getting comfortable with the new aspects of the language, and then, you know, maybe start taking basic speaking lessons and stuff, because I'm very keen on speaking from day one, but honestly with Georgian, I think I just need to take a long time and just like to chill, you know? Speaking from day one is easy when it's a language that you're already kind of familiar with, like when I started learning German or when I started learning Spanish or French, you know, but when it's like got aspects that I've never been in contact with before, I think I really just want to take time to you know, explore that a little bit more. So yeah, those 3 languages are the only 3 new languages that I'm studying in 2021. And the next 3 are languages that I already speak and, you know, stuff that I want to solidify and build on. So ideally, I think I would like to study Nawa for January and then switch over maybe to Turkish for February and then go to Georgian in March, and then we'll figure out the rest from there. I don't want to put like too much of a strict kind of thing, because sometimes I didn't enjoy that this year, especially with COVID complications. So yeah, but for, you know, when you're kind of like developing a relationship with a new language, you want to kind of give it all of your attention. So I'm not going to be studying these simultaneously. They are going to be taking turns. So for now, the tentative plan is like January Nawa, February Turkish, and then March would be Georgian, and then I'll figure out from there. Anyways, with that said, there also are some languages that I would like to study that I already have a working knowledge of, and the first one, I know you guys are gonna freaking quake when you hear this one. French. I've never spoken French on this channel. I never tweet in French. Do you know why? Do you know why I carry around this like ball and chain with me that is the French language? It's not a ball and chain. It's a beautiful language, but for me, my French has carried, I don't know, such like a shameful feeling. I don't know how to describe it, because I studied it for 4 years in high school. No flex, but I definitely was the best French student in my class. I scored a 7 out of 7 on the IB exams, which are very hard French exams. And then after high school, it just like, I had no interest in it. And I feel like that is the experience for a lot of Northern Americans. We learn French here a lot, and a lot of people, when they learn French in high school, they kind of just block it out afterwards, or they forget it. And I definitely do not forget it. I remember a lot of my French, but the fact that I studied it in high school meant that I was getting material handed to me. Like my entire knowledge of the French language was handed to me. I never got a chance to make it mine, and like I never got a chance to fall in love with it. So for 2021, that would be literally the first time since high school that I'm studying it on my own and getting a chance to make it my own. When people ask me, hey Elysse, how did you learn French? What books did you use? What resources do you use? I have no answer, because I haven't studied French on my own at all. It's a damn shame. It's a shameful experience for me, and I would like to not feel that way. So my goal is just to get comfy speaking it again, because and to put like a really big emphasis on speaking, because when I studied it in high school, we were not speaking as much as we should have. Of course, we had like oral exams, and in the classroom, my French teacher, hello mademoiselle, she would say, you know, no English in the classroom. So we spoke a decent amount of French, but it definitely was not to the standards of how I like to study languages on my own. I like to really, really put a focus on speaking all the time. And for French, I feel like such a, you know, a shortcoming with that. So ideally, by the end of the year, I would like to have a 1-hour conversation, like a 1-hour lesson maybe, or whatever, you know, without being exhausted. Because I notice that when I speak French, I do get exhausted very fast. And since I know people are going to ask me in the comments, I would say that my French is at about a B2 level. Yeah. So, while we're in the neighborhood of Romance languages and Romance languages that I really, really need to study next year, that would be Portuguese. I'm very excited for this. So you guys know that I've been studying Portuguese since August of 2018. So that's over 2 years now, and I think that it's definitely not to the level that I would like it to be. Just because, okay, I'm gonna tell you my shortcomings in freaking Portuguese. In one word, portuñol. I need to stop mixing it up with Spanish, and I need to learn like more colloquial or conversational phrases, because I feel like that's really where I'm lacking when I have a conversation with someone in Portuguese. Something also that I would like to do next year is to kind of like solidify an identity. And no, when I talk about identity, I'm referring to accent, because literally every time I make a video in Portuguese, there's always like a bunch of people debating in the comments about what accent I have in Portuguese. Because some people are like, oh, she sounds like she's from Rio de Janeiro, and then other people are like, oh no, she sounds definitely Portuguese, and they're like, no, she sounds 100% Brazilian. And I'm just in the middle like, okay, can you guys let me know when you decide what accent I have? Because this is it's a confusing experience. Yeah. My toxic trait in Portuguese is that I morph my accent to whoever I'm talking to. I'm like a shape-shifting Lusophone. If I'm talking to a person from São Paulo, I'm going to be talking very Paulista, but if I'm talking to a person from Rio, I'm like, and it's just like, who are you, you know? However, I will never speak like a person from Portugal. That's the thing. When people tell me I sound like I'm from Portugal, I'm like, no. I just have a little bit of a Rio accent, because I will never ever be able to speak like them Europeans. Estamos a falar português. Hey bitch, I just want to be one thing, finally. And there are some problems that I have with Portuguese because I'm coming from a Spanish perspective. So like hyphens, commands, and where to put hyphens and pronouns, I have no idea. So in terms of orthography, I would like to settle that once and for all. And the thing is, like, when you're learning Portuguese, I'm not used to such a big difference between, you know, the fundamentals of Europe and Latin America. If you learn, for example, Spanish, and you look between Spain and Latin America, the differences are not that, you know, to the core. It's usually in vocabulary and of course accent. But when you come to Portuguese and you see like even the most basic sentences being like different between like Portuguese in Brazil and between Portugal, it's just very confusing. Like, for example, eu te amo in Brazil, eu amo-te in Portugal. And I'm like, that's a very basic sentence. Why are you guys inverting that? So I really want to get out of the habit of accidentally like using Portuguese-isms, because I do want to learn like the Latin American dialect. That's been my like shtick from day one. I'm finding like it's been very hard to just stay in my like Latin American lane when learning Portuguese. So I kind of want to just firmly grasp it. Okay, and lastly, I know y'all didn't think I was gonna forget it. German. Of course, I'm studying German next year. I've had so much fun. Like I said, this year has definitely been like the year of German, and I kind of want to I don't want to stop now, because I feel like I'm getting a very like momentous kind of progress and confidence in my German right now. So, you know, my strengths in German, I have a strong grasp on grammar, and I can feel when something is wrong and I can correct it. Like I have that kind of feeling now. My weakness in German is talking about everyday situations. That is also a toxic trait of mine when in language learning, is that I always want to skip over the basic stuff. Like, I don't know, talking about everyday errands or talking about the body or like, and I always just want to skip over all that and be like, let's talk about the fucking refugee crisis. And everybody's like, do you know how to say fork? And I'm like, oh wait, did I actually forget how to say that? It starts with a G. I know it starts with a G. Gabu. Okay, this is why I need to strengthen my fundamentals in German. Anyways, baby steps are important. Put on your baby shoes for 2021, everybody. So yeah, I just want to keep on that same trajectory and confidence that I've really like constructed in German this year. You guys have been so awesome with like motivating me. I think now if I look at my analytics on YouTube, the majority of my audience is from Germany. I get comments all the time like really, really supportive, and I really, really appreciate it. So you guys have definitely played a part in that. No, I'm not tearing up. I'm not. What you thought. So I just have to fill in gaps and find a good balance of, you know, improving everyday conversation while also, you know, keep continuing to develop my advanced written and spoken German. And that is it. So I am probably going to be making like minor tweakages to this still, not to the languages, because those are my 6 languages for 2021, but with regard to the time framing. So I said that I'm going to do like certain languages in certain months. And so if you want to see updates on that, you can go follow me on Twitter, which is Elysse de Vega, ELYSSEDIVEGA. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm very, very excited for the year to come, and comment your own language goals down below, because I'm curious as to what languages you guys are studying, if we have any in common, if we can, you know, kind of help each other out on that. If you're a native speaker of any of the languages that I mentioned and you have some like bomb-ass resources you would like to share with me and with other people in the comments, please feel free. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Much love, much health, much luck, success. I'm finishing up the semester soon, so I will be very happy to be on break for a while, probably uploading a little bit more. Yes, no, maybe so. And yeah, see you soon. Bye!